Welcome back, everybody. I see a few new faces. I see some familiar faces. Good to see you here. Thank you for coming to this panel. I have a quick question for you. Who of you has been to a concert in the metaverse yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, some, but I think the majority hasn't been. I haven't been as well, so I'm quite excited for what is to come. We're going to discuss what does it take to be present and to be creative in the metaverse, and what technical possibilities are there yet, and how do artists, producers, labels benefit from that. We're going to learn about this now. I'm pretty excited because, as I said, I have no clue, to be honest. And we're going to learn from Dennis Rohlfing, Managing Director at One Point Studios, and Thor Hagedorn and Luana Madikera of the Diasporic Arts Alliance. First, we're going to hear Dennis. After that, we're going to hear the two other ones. And then at the end, we're going to have a discussion, like a little Q&A. If you have any questions for our experts, don't hesitate. You just go on Swapcard, you open the app, and you type all your questions within the app, so I will read them out to the experts later. But first, let's enjoy the presentation. Warm welcome for Dennis.
Moin. Wir sind ein bisschen behind schedule, so I need to talk a bit quicker today so that they can set up their stuff. We have quite some things today. I'll show you guys what we at On Point Nexa Technology is actually capable of, giving you tools at hand to understand what your own vision could be behind all of those things, combining it to different kind of things. I'm mainly having videos, because when I start talking, the minutes will flow, they will be gone. So let's get into it. What is On Point? Our showreel. We have no sound. No sound. It's the wrong sound, aber geil. Ich weiß nicht, wo ich hingucken muss. Wer kann mir sagen, ja? Da. Ja? Ja, other than that, we are doing awesome stuff in virtual productions, right? People scanning, full body capturing, and all of that stuff. You will see a lot of showcases in a bit. We're going to have Thor and the Yabal platform showing stuff afterwards, how you can actually use those things on a platform kind of approach. Sven. I can see you. So don't worry. We are just offering tools to create lifelike experiences in the metaverse. The thing. Ich bin Dennis, hallo. Ihr könnt mich auch Dennis nennen, ist kein Problem, wenn ihr mich trefft. Actually, we have a satellite tomorrow at Riverside Studios. Thanks. Oh, danke.
From the top or from here?
No, we don't have time. Stay tuned for Cargo. Great project, virtual live theater. I think one of the most amazing things we actually achieved in our on-point studios is that we can actually stream and create all of those content live while pre-producing some of the arts, but acting in real time and streaming it out live, which is quite an amazing thing for all of you. Just to make sure that you all get away with this misconception that creating, yesterday I heard about this during the awards. I heard that, oh man, it's quite unfair because music video production is so expensive and those full-blown blah, blah, blah artists will always win because they do the awesome shit. I can tell you, reach out to us. Getting into it, creating videos with virtual elements in it isn't as expensive as you might think because we're in Berlin, right? So, welcome to Berlin. What you've seen is the whole show reel, which is actually already 1.5 years old, but you've seen that we worked with quite some music people. Oh yeah, there's a slide. I'm a computer scientist, so actually I used to do programming and then worked in video games, and we're trying to combine those two worlds and other worlds, but for this event, those two worlds are important. Video game development based on Unreal Engine. Some of you might know, some of you might not. High-end, awesome shit, easy to be implemented. And in your case, the music world. Video production, live entertainment, whatever you will see. You will see a lot of stuff, but I don't have much. Okay. That's me, doesn't matter. I'm a massive fan of David Hasselhoff. I'm from Bremen, Dings, Maynard James Keenan. That's it. Okay, that's our studio, actually. It's here in Berlin. We have a full-fledged virtual production studio with an OptiTrack system. Most of you might not know it, but reach out to us. You will see some of actually today, a performance of someone wearing a suit live on site, but if you just imagine how hard it is to track all the movement data in real time, you can see that this 360 kind of setup we are having in the studio will help you to be even more accurate on movements, right? So it's a good example, but it's still like the high-end thing of motion capture. Motion capture, we don't need to talk about that, but virtual production means you guys doing stuff, doing music, producing music, creating music, whatever it is, performing music. You can actually get into a virtual environment in different kind of setups. You can dance in front of or do your performance in front of a green screen. You can do your performance while being completely virtualized as yourself. You can put yourself into a virtual costume and perform your performance, how you will see with a tour in a bit. Or you combine all of those elements, but our setup is prepared for streaming it out live to any kind of platform you can imagine. For those who know about it, it's OBS-based. So whatever we stream out, you can have wherever you want. I need to be quick, I guess. So what we do is face and finger tracking is pretty precise and pretty special that we can actually, in real time and live, track your fingers and your facial expressions, which is pretty important. Just to be quick, it's a kind of like Kevin, our technical producer, doing all of those videos, actually, which is funny. But the guy behind him is actually a meta-human, something we can create on the Unreal Engine pretty quickly based on what his girlfriend actually came up with, what Kevin could look like. It's pretty close, but I will show you how close you can get in a bit. What we also do is what we're trying to do, and we are always constantly innovating on stuff, obviously, technologically, is trying to prepare for AR, right? VR is the hottest shit right now, but AR might become quite some hot shit. So what we're trying to get all of the data, all of the stuff we're doing on stage over there in real time, live, streamed to any kind of device in any kind of environment you can imagine. Looks like that, with physical interaction with objects, right? So that's like, look, It's like on the ground, right? The person over there is performing, this person is kicking things, doesn't matter, next one. I invite all of you, just reach out to me after this kind of thing. I might have enough time to get all of you hooked by joining us at our On-Point studios to see a live performance of what we're actually capable of. And I highly recommend you guys to create a vision in your mind and don't be shy. Just talk to us and find out if it makes sense or not, because what we learned during the whole process is that every one of you right now expects it to be way too expensive, which is not the case. 3D content can be generated and reused in different kind of increments, so don't shy away just because you see a lot of high-end content right now. Join us and be part of it. We're in Berlin. We're a small team doing awesome stuff. That's what you will see in this live showcase. It's not true, yeah, it's the Unreal base thing. But if you can change your lookalike in real time, you can change the environment. All of those things actually performed live, not recorded, but streamed out live immediately while you're doing it. So if you prepare well, okay, it's kicking. You can change environments and stuff like that. So it doesn't matter much, but I want you to enjoy the performance of our technical producer, Kevin. Performing an AR thing live in our virtual production studio. There you can see that even if you kind of, normally in such cases, if you have a leg behind your leg, it might get lost somewhere in a virtual environment. In this case, you can see that this OptiTrack high-fidelity system will actually, because it's 360, will make it work better. I have no idea how he did that, but he did that randomly. And there's no post-production behind it. It's live, recorded, and here now. It's not happening right now, but it's still something we invested no single hour, minute in cleaning, post-producing, and all of those things. We can watch that forever, but I don't have time for that. So we do a lot of stuff. Actually, live theater doesn't matter, has nothing to do with music, but two people performing and interacting with each other in a virtual environment. One is the ogre, one is the knight. Doesn't matter, it's not important for that. What's important is how far you can get with real-time live performances, and that's our showcase, Cargo.
Something here.
Allie, the mission's a bust. Get outside it ASAP.
Okay, it'll just take a sec.
You can see that all of those interactions with the virtual real world, like grabbing this kind of thing, is actually happening in real time. But the moment she's grabbing it as an actor on stage, this thing will actually get to her hand. She can interact with the environment in a pretty smart way.
I'm on my way. Jeez. Alley out.
And again, it's not too expensive to create something like that because it's based on assets you can actually, or we together could buy in the asset store. Just combine it in a unique way, and then you have your own stuff to do whatever you want with it.
Oh man, you're gorgeous. I'm sorry, but I've got to put you in here. I'm gonna be honest, it's cramped, but it's kind of cramped for all of us in Space Dude, so you're just gonna have to suck it up, man. Yep. God.
You've seen most of it in that one. What we did as well is, maybe some of you know her, some of you might not. Antti Fuchs creating a pretty low budget live demo of what is possible because she is a fox. So it's about a Fuchsbau. I'm not sure what's the English word for Fuchsbau. Fox, the home of the fox, in a way. Actually, again, performed live. We don't need to get into details, but like this is exactly with almost no budget. you can achieve that with 1 day studio time with us. Yeah, there's obviously the tower, but I don't have time for that. The fox is not the most beautiful and in the environment embedded fox you have ever seen in your life. That's clear because it was a low-budget production, but you can do everything. And she is talking about stuff, smoking weed and things, so we skip that. We are Nexa. We are not only doing the virtual production kind of thing you just heard about. We also have quite some body scanners available to scan your physics, if you're fine with that, and create a virtual human or a virtual being almost in real time from all of you. And we have an XR development team available. 2 people are sitting here. Hi. Schön, euch zu sehen. Who can actually create an immersive experience based on all of the technological stuff we have over there. So we do capturing people, capturing things, putting it into something boring videos. You can get all the details if you want to have that, but actually, I think it's about showing what we actually did instead of talking about stuff and bragging with things here. We cannot even prove that we're doing it. We did one thing to combine all of that, scanning of people, virtual production, high-end stuff, and XR development with PenPod. Have a look. It's a good summary of what we actually did. Because what we learned is that when you do a live stream as an artist, you don't get anything back from your audience, right? You're like in front of maybe even get in front of a camera doing stuff, but you need to read all the lines of chats happening without getting the real data out of it. So we kind of came up with a hybrid event in our studio with real people celebrating PenPod and some people being online, available, camera tracked so that we could actually recognize how amazing their movements are, right? You can see like that, kind of. So that they get actually energy back from what's happening and not what they are writing, and then actually trigger certain events during that. And I'll be quick. We did VR as well, and now the quick part, body scanning. We scan people. You might know him. If not, that's perfectly fine. It's Gabor Steingart, one of those guys out there. Doesn't matter. We did something with soccer and football, however you want to call it. Doesn't matter. What's the most important thing is what you can get easily and not too expensive again. It's not too much work. Is the meta-human living in the Unreal Engine in our environment, the ones we're working on. So we scan someone. That's the result within a couple of days. Ignore the lighting, looks like a vampire, but hey, right? Still relevant, you can see it here. Pretty accurate, pretty well done, pretty fast. You will see the abstract version in a bit. I need to be quick, that's the fidelity you can see, right? Quite some details on it. I don't know why I'm not wearing pants, but that's us. The team from the other side, right? We even have our CFO in there, doesn't matter much. And this is what you see, and this is the last important thing I want to mention. You can see that wrinkles in his face are missing. And what we're currently having already is that when you get scanned, you need to do poses like that. Just to record your wrinkles so that it's actually more natural than this person playing all of the people in Planet of the Apes. Monetization is a very important thing, but you will learn about that. Join us tomorrow on our green screen kind of virtual event at Riverside Studios. Will be great. It's not Tassilo, but you will see online who is performing. We have Allbird, and we have The Reason Why performing live on Twitch with a threshold to reach a certain goal to make something amazing happen. So that's all of the stuff we're doing, quite some, but I don't want to waste more time of those guys. So join us tomorrow. It's your stage, Thor.
Yo, thank you. Thank you, Dennis. The good thing about Metaverse also like kind of work in progress, so we needed some time to set it up. Sorry for that. But now here's Luana Madikera on my side. Clap your hand for Luana Madikera from Byle, and also she got a lot of own dancing projects. She's also part of Diasporic Arts Alliance, doing the IT stuff. And me, I'm Thor Hagedorn. I'm also co-founder of Diasporic Arts Alliance. But let's come to that thing. You can see her, but I have to reset her some to the origin. So you can see her how she moves. And I think the best thing is about we going through the whole thing with music, because it's more fun. So. All right, clap your hands for Luana Madikera's performance. By the way, this is a Byle track, so check us out on Spotify and everywhere on the socials, so you can listen to the song. Yeah, you can see this is Luana right now in the Yabal space, so it's a more gamified world. It's a bit more like mid-res, not too high-res. Yeah, it's like, I don't know who of you all know the Travis Scott concert. Somebody went to the Fortnite Travis Scott concert? Okay, perfect. So you know a bit about it. The difference is like this concerts here at the Yabal space, or for example in the Blume Space, which we're going to talk a bit about too, they are happening live. So you go with your game player in and we can interact with you. And for us, like as indies and also with the background with Diasporic Arts Alliance, it's really important that we find also a way for, like, I wouldn't say smaller artists, but like artists which doesn't have the same economic power as a company like Fortnite or another one, to get access to the metaverse, because in 3 to 8 years, it's going to be something really important, not like something which is taking away what music and live music is, but it's going to be something really important on the market. And so we trying also to find ways already to get in and also help other artists to get onto these platforms. So can you start my presentation? Thank you, Luana, first of all, like one more time. If there's still time, we can talk a bit about things, but we can start with the presentation quickly. Can you set it on the monitor? If not, I'm going to perform or something. Okay, nice. Luana's presenting. Okay, it's not happening. Okay, so let's talk about Diasporic Arts. Please. Yeah, please. I guess ABBA, like, what do you think, Sven? For example, so I have a really good colleague here on my side. He also knows about a lot of technology, but I think ABBA was optical. OptiTrack, yeah. 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 So, yeah, okay, it's working now. Oh, wait. Good. Just go to the second one now, please. Oh, no, I got the, where's the thing? Thank you. Oh, my God, so good technology. It's so fine. So this is us, me being very sexy. And this is Christine. Yeah, when I go to party, I look like that. That's like it is. So this is Christine Seraphine, who cannot be here. She's also the co-founder of Diasporic Arts Alliance. Just our key values is all about diversity for us. It's really important. This is the main thing that we, whatever we are doing in the leading or also in the choice of the concerts, when the events doing, this is the most important thing for us. So through all this, we're doing the other things. Let's talk about me a bit. Yeah, I'm the co-founder and also curator for the Berlin Music Commission, and I'm studying game art at the moment as the SRE. Luana, you want to present yourself quickly?
Hello, everyone. Hi. Okay, so this is me, as you could see. I'm a dancer, but I'm also working in the IT part for DAA, and I'm also a dancer working with technologies. So I'm currently working in the metaverse thing with DAA, but I'm also in a piece right now, a dance, actually multidisciplinary dance piece, which involves sensors as well, and also a full costume. So there is two parts. One part which is the more 3D, so what you have seen also before with the presentation. and what I did also before when I danced, and with another part which is sensors with sounds. So producing sounds, maybe you have seen some ads. So basically also producing sounds with the movement that you're doing. So it's also learning, kind of have like an instrument or an extension of your body, but also producing sound. So there are also this component in sensors that are possible.
Can you start the first video? Because these are coin drop parties which happen every Wednesday. Tonight also at Yabal.io. You can just get in. It's at 8 o'clock and you can make your avatar. And I have a little video if it's starting now. If not, yes. All right.
I don't feel anyone, but it's not me anymore.
Wow, fly, incredible. And again. So some people of you might know Edna. They perform already also in the Yabal Space or the Yabal World, Yabal Metaverse. All right. So this is like, part of the, I'm hitting now the next one. Not happening. Okay, this is like the Yabal world. You can see how it works. It's a gamified world. You can get in. You can, like on Wednesday when it's the coin drop, you can get the coins together. And with these coins, later you can buy stuff, for example, clothes or other avatars, special avatars. The good thing, we're making these avatars through Ready Player Me, or you can also make your customized avatars working with another company or create them by yourself, upload them and use them in 3D. So in this case, with Yabal, we're using also Ready Player Me avatars. So when you come today to the Yabal space, you can make it through the browser. You can just access to it, create your avatar the way you want to have it. And these are some of the avatars. That's me, and like on the right side, there's also Christine, there's Luana. So what we as DAA, Diasporic Arts Alliance, are doing is actually creating hybrid events and also like IRL events, but we have a strong focus on the metaverse events and how it works. And not only for Yabal in the sense, we also think about other possibilities to get into the metaverse, which also there is a really strong and interesting example. That is like VR chat. Who of you all knows VR chat? Aha, he's the specialist, I know that. Okay, another one also. Okay, 2 people, really, really check it out. When it's about coming to metaverse, please just go on the platform. You don't need an Oculus, you can just join. They have like events, they have concerts, like there are club sessions happening. It's really incredible how it looks like. And I think before I just have a word about that, just play the second video. I just want to show it straight away. So this is one of the club situations in VR chat. This is Shelter. I have a really good supporter always with all these informations. It's like, hey, let's go on the weekends to a party, and we just put on Oculus on sitting in the living room and just joining that party. Yeah, there's some sound. Oh wait, I have to put down the other one sound. Yeah, I guess. No. So. Yeah, you go into this backyard. You can do it with the Oculus, or you can also do it through the desktop, like through the software itself. You don't need an Oculus for that. So, and everybody can create its own avatars. There are different levels of avatars. You can be really creative about it. And you can perform as DJs, as you can see it. Like there are real parties, like 60 to 70 people can be on a party. They have really nice visuals. So this is really good, and this is the start of being an active metaverse really happening, like every day. Because the important thing about the metaverse is 24/7. You can go in and out whenever you want. You meet the people, you socialize with the people, and I think this is a good way also to show it. They have amazing setups with DJs. Yeah, and you can create your own new identity inside VR chat, and using these avatars maybe also on another platform. Depends on how you created them. All right? That's good. Nice party. There. Okay, the video can stop now. Thank you. So these are our Byle avatars that we created together with Yabal. They are not with Ready Player Me. We created them with, first of all, with designers who also designed for Afropunk Bahia. And then on top of these ones, they created the 3D sets. Luana is in the front, it's me on the left side, Babix on the left side, white, and then there's also Sarah Carlo on the right, and there's Pitota. Just as an example, you can create also your own avatars, yeah, for your music. why is this so important actually? Like as a performer, one thing is like, okay, I want to get into the metaverse and get to know the metaverse a bit, like I want to perform in the metaverse, but think about the possibility that you have a concert and you're performing at the same time in the metaverse, or using these visuals from your avatar that you're controlling, for example, with the suit that Luana's losing, by influencing the visuals. There are so many options that you can do. And think about you performing live and at the same time in the metaverse, how much inclusion is this giving to people who are far away, who cannot access easily concerts? This is also one thing which is really nice about the metaverse possibilities. Here's some examples. We have at DIA our own event space, so we invite all artists who want to collaborate with us, coming to our space, also to perform in our space or into the Yabal space, just connect with us. There is also the possibility, Luana's working on a metaverse dance project, like a metaverse fitness project, so you can join also in this part of the sense. And I just showed the sensors. That's the sensors on the right side that Luana is working with. Like they're all connected to the bones, so she can move. You can see it here on the whole body. That's why we chose this suit actually, because this is you can do it in your living room. You can have the big party in the living room. Like there's no issue about it. That's the good thing about having these systems. But there are a lot of other systems to come, and I'm just looking forward for the future of the metaverse too. I showed this already. So if you want to get more about Yabal, here is the QR code. You can talk to us, and also about Diasporic Arts Alliance. We're doing, like I said, the hybrid events and normal events, but it's especially fun events. And please join VR Chat. You have to check it out. It's really awesome what's happening there. Thank you so much. And I don't know if there's still time for a talk. Yeah?
Thank you very much for your presentation. Big applause for the dance. And we can all sit down, because now there's space for questions and we're gonna have a little talk. Man, let me say, the future is now. I'm quite impressed. I don't know about you. So just to understand, what exactly is the difference between the two products that you offer? So what is the difference between the products?
Arkham Asylum. I can start with that one. I think it's the main difference. We are offering tools focusing on more lifelike, how does it say that in English? Expressions of yourself in a virtual environment, while you guys are actually more with high fidelity movements where you're like, okay, everything is pretty smooth, right? Every kind of thing is really smooth in real time. And you guys focus on...
Yeah, basically it's like in the stage when we're working with Yabal, it's more a gamified world. It's you should have easy access to the world. It's not about like having high fidelity. It's for us like it needs to work and it needs to have easy access. This is one thing. Also the possibility to make a concert in your living room, so you don't have to go to another studio or something. You can do it right from your home or another studio that you set up. This is like the main focus on it, and creating the avatars in an easy way.
I think just quickly to add this, I think the thing is we are used to, because of being a massive company, used to work with celebrities, and when it's about brand DNA of a celebrity, getting the real brand thing into this metaverse kind of thing in a way where the brand management isn't too complex, because obviously if you get into stylized versions of yourself, it's 200 million people, 300 million different opinions on if it's the right approach.
Just a quick note, if you have any questions, feel free to share them on Swapcard, so I'll get them directly on my iPad and we're happy to discuss. Luana, as an artist, how is your experience of the metaverse so far? What has it added to your artistic expression? Let us know.
So I see it as an extension, so it's not something that replaces what I'm doing, but more that extends my possibility as an artist or as a dancer. I see it also, it's not so far away from what you're saying, that this live component, so for example, the piece I'm working on, it's a live piece with the extension of sensors, which can create environments, for example, that you can't create maybe in real, or that would be a bit harder. It's a way also to have, I could imagine having a duet, having a solo, but having a duet with someone, or which is me. And it's also a possibility to have those kinds of pieces or performances broadcasted in another way, in a more playful way, in a more gamey way. It's also what you were saying about the game. So, but I really see it as an extension and a possibility to create environments which are highly artistic, or at least beautiful, and create way more out of the dance or art of the art.
Okay. Do you want to add something?
No, I think it's
Okay. Just imagining, like maybe there are like young creators listening, young musicians, and like looking at your presentations, it's incredibly impressive. And I would ask myself, when is the right time for me as a young artist to like enter this world? Is it right now? Can I do this at every level of my career? What would you say?
You want? Yeah, just kick it.
I think depends on which stage you are an artist, but at the end you can start now. I mean, just now, just browse it, get to know about it. You don't have to invest millions or 10,000 of euros. There are easy ways to also get into a metaverse, and I think it's just by understanding also what the metaverse is. The metaverse is like, I would like say, like we're different metaverses. Like for example, Yabal is a metaverse, they're creating a metaverse, other people creating metaverse, and then you have like the multiverse, which is like combining all these, and maybe gives the options to go from one metaverse to the other one. So find your way of something that people can meet and socialize on the online platform, and it would be nice if it's 3D. So, and I think from an artist-wise, I think you can create also your new identity. If sometimes the artists have these problems, I have this one identity and have the other one. This music is so good, how put it out? Maybe you create the avatar just for that kind of music, which is fitting for that. There's so many possibilities. So I think it's starting now because it's a development, and we need all you artists, especially the artists inside and creating inside the space, so we have the power to change things. So I would say now, ASAP.
Yeah, maybe to add this, I think you should have started yesterday because it's just there, right? If you know Spotify and how Spotify actually offers all of those ding-dong-dangs, whatever that's there, you can add a lot of value to people are listening online, people are watching online, people are online as a thing. Not necessarily metaverse, but this, whatever that is, this online kind of thing. So being physical doesn't matter too much anymore. So it makes sense to either build a virtual identity of yourself quickly enough to own it, and on the other hand, to get yourself into the virtual space and enhancing what you're currently doing, as you said. Live events is one thing, being physically present, but having hybrid events where you're physically present in one location, but being able to reach the world at the same time with whatever you're doing and getting feedback in live, in real time, back from the audience is massive and will help you to enhance your whole kind of experience as an artist and the success potential of an artist. It's a matter of fact, you need to do it.
This brings me to my next question. I'm gonna get your question in a minute. We've spoken about like live performances, we talked about music, but we talked about dancing. What other art forms is the metaverse relevant for? Like, is there like a limit to it, or is it just like possible for every artist to display on the metaverse?
So I'm coming from dance. Yeah, so I'm definitely for dance, I see the potential being huge. Even thing that we haven't think about. It's a bit weird to say that, but beyond what you can imagine. I actually was wondering about also visual arts, but any performing arts actually. I think could use definitely the metaverse and music, because this is what we're doing. So definitely, almost all of them. It's hard to think about maybe sculpture, but I don't know. As I said, maybe it's also beyond this, like, because we have this limitation and thinking beyond that, like how could we create also space for other arts with the metaverse or within the metaverse? That could be a good questioning.
Can we take something from the audience too, a question?
We can do that, but then I will just get another microphone so we can hand it to the...
Somebody had a question
just
here?
Just get one.
I'll
give a microphone to you.
All right.
But just saying, right, everything will have a physical and a metaverse presence in a way within a couple of few years. Fortunately or unfortunately, it depends on from what kind of angle you're looking at it. So every one of you guys can actually pioneer in this kind of thing, because what we learned in all of the different discussions we have with different people from different industries is that they have no idea, because they have normal static processes, and we try to actually help us and them to understand what's the common denominator, which actually leads to something pioneering within this hashtag word thing called metaverse.
Okay.
I have a question, and it's about everything that is new. In general, has an entry gap, and in technology, even more so. So, what would you say? Because I personally, I'm not aware at all how to participate. Like, what's the technical side of it? Like, I know people know how to open an Instagram account, but so how does the metaverse? What do you think? How big do you think is the entry gap for the audience in general to really say, "Oh, let's go"? Gotopo, I'm Gotopo. Gotopo has a concert. I want to go and check it. Like, what do you think, and how big do you think is this entry gap?
Entry up in the sense of...
Like the amount maybe of, it's like, for example, crypto. There's still a kind of relatively big entry gap for people like, I don't know, my mom. It's like, oh, I wallet, and this and what is this thingy? And you know what I mean? Like, it's like a different world, different language, different. So all of these details. How big do you think this wall can be when people tries to easily go and click and look at something or something?
Okay, I mean, I think the very good example was when we asked for Who Knows VR Chat and how many people were listening.
Right.
So this is a good thing, but there is something is happening, and we know is something that we're planning to the future. If I do a social media campaign, for example, on the metaverse, I cannot just focus or target on people who like music, because they enjoy concerts, they enjoy like the real concerts and stuff. So I have to find a way like to find the new audiences. And this is one thing. And then the question is the audience actually want to participate, or it's easy to participate, because there are always some levels of, I don't have a Windows computer, I don't have this and the other things. And this is things that we're figuring also out in that time. So they're creating these.
But let's say for people, suppose I am a small artist upcoming and I have my 10,000 people on Instagram. How tough it is for them to join a metaverse? I'm like, think about, I'm on zero. I don't know how to join a metaverse. Yeah. I don't know nothing, the technical side of it.
Okay, if you for Yabal, for example, like it's not easy, it's easy. Actually, you can just talk to us or talk to Yabal and just, we can lend the suit, for example. And we can create an avatar. So I think the entry level is not as hard. The other question is like for your fans to join.
Exactly.
Is more complicated because they have to get used to the metaverse thing. And I think we're in a phase at the moment where we're still educating about the topic and also of the need of this topic. Do we need it? Do people need it in their life? Is it working something? Is really something that is extending the reality, and is it enjoyable? It must be fun, it must be enjoyable, and you want to come in. So it's the same with social media. Actually, it should be more fun and joyful than it is. But as it comes something more mainstream, it will still need some time in our work also, and of everyone to create. You want to say something?
It's fine. I'm just, my ADHD is kicking.
I think you're eating your words a while ago. Yeah, please.
But just to be honest, I think perfectly right. But if you think of the metaverse as a virtual reality space in a thing, obviously the entrance barrier for people watching or being part of that experience is pretty high, right? Because not many people, but you have, maybe some of you might have seen the Mark Zuckerberg last blah, 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 talking ding, dong, dang with the shit. Whatever he said was like that they want to open up the kind of metaverse experience to all devices to make sure that everyone can participate. So obviously, whatever metaverse is always, the internet back in the days. Now it's the metaverse. Everyone needs to get in, and Facebook is a social network. They're used to that kind of thing to get people in. So obviously, they will make sure that it's not only VR. VR is very special. It's a very special experience, but the metaverse is more than that. It's way broader. It needs to be available in AR, ding, dong, dang, and on all devices we cannot even imagine.
Okay, that helps. But like, for example, let's say I know how to open a bank account, right? I know the steps. And those are okay, like, I don't know, not so hard or a little hard. So how hard would you say compared to opening a bank account or opening a Facebook account, joining the metaverse for a random person, whoever it is? Do you think it's similarly difficult or more difficult?
I think, from my point of view, it's still difficult, but I really see it as something like the pre-era social media. and we got in, and it was like, what is that? So I think, yeah, it's really that. So first of all, you don't understand it, but it's still attractive, so you want to get into it. So definitely some generations, if I'm be honest, some generations are not going to be there exactly the same way some generations are not on the social media, but as you could see the evolution, it has changed a little bit. So I see it as like we're a little bit before the mainstream is getting into it. So it's still a bit like, okay, this is not that easy. It's still, if you use social media and internet, it's still something that you can get. It's not, you have to have 10 steps, but you have to register your email address. So it's still like a process that you can get. But there will be also something else coming up. And as actually they both say, it's going to be everywhere. So exactly the same way social media was like going everywhere. Like step by step, if metaverse is a little bit everywhere, people would tend to be, okay, so I have to get it. I have to try to be there. Okay, this event or whatever, what I want to know, or this knowledge, or this dance class, or whatsoever is on metaverse. Okay, I really want to go. So I see it that way. Like, first of all, it's going to be, I think, creating this irritation, which is like, okay, this is new, I don't know how to get it. And then eventually evolve into a thing that is like so much everywhere that if you want to get what you want, you're going to have to go further. For now, I would say that it's still a little bit in the before. Like it's
the fascinating moment of jumping in, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's a little bit like, oh, I want to get it, I want to go there. But it's like you have to make these steps. Like I want to get to know how it works and stuff like that.
Sorry, I think that's the most important message to all of you today, is that when you want to get into the metaverse, whatever the metaverse the kind of thing is, right? This thing being virtualized in a virtual kind of thing, you are wonderful if you consider how to transform and not to just transport real-life experiences into a virtual environment. If you just imagine going shopping and now it's in the metaverse, woo! So you really, you need to drive to a supermarket, you get in there, and then you get to wherever the milk is, you get there, empty, mist. So already the internet is already making those experiences better because you have a list of stuff available. The metaverse should not create whatever we have here already as physical human beings in real life, to just bring it into a virtual environment, but just enhance it with all the possibilities we're having in a virtual environment. So if you can think out of the box and you want to create something, there are so many possibilities to be innovative, inventive, and on top of the class if you think of enhancing real life physical experiences by virtual elements.
Seems like a whole new world out there. I have a question from the chat. Felix is asking, is the Unreal 5 release a big difference for you or the market? Is the hardware of the user finally good enough, or do you still need a good PC? First of all, what is this release? Can you tell us about it?
I can take it. Don't worry, first and foremost, yes, it's great that Unreal 5 is there for us as a developer, or as developers, because you've seen the metahumans I was presenting, the scan to some physical, not physical, virtual person. From a user perspective, it doesn't change anything, obviously, right? Because...
So I have to ask, it is an update?
It's an update, yeah, it's from 4 to 5, right?
It's an update, okay.
Next level shit. MetaHuman was in beta, now it's an official kind of thing. So physical presence transformed into a virtual presence is easier and more lifelike now, easier to be done. But if you think of Yabal as a platform on this one, it's still the platform using those elements, streaming it or making it usable for you as well, not you, but the other ones, the fans as consumers. So there's no difference at all for you as consumers.
And do I, as a fan, still need a good PC? Like a good computer?
Right now? Yes, I think it's not a bad start having a PC. I mean, because like, there are some options, and we also tried it with Mac and also with through the browser, and it works. But I think if you want to have the whole experience, also when it comes to Oculus, and you want to connect it, and you want like nice visuals, for example, in VR chat, it's nice to have a PC. And that's why also when I said about social media and targeting, it's easier to target the people who are already in this kind of gaming world. So yes, it's a good start. But the thing is, like, technology is advancing. There are a lot of new advances coming. I think people are already working on stuff that's easier working. Some metaverse experiences you can just do it through the browser. For example, you want to, it's like this decentralized museum. You can just visit it through your phone. So these things are coming, and we can all, like I said, participate, create them, exchange about ideas, try the things that work or not. So make it easier. Also give easier access, like making it even easier than accessing a bank account.
I wasn't there the beginning of the day when you guys defined metaverse as a common thing, right? So that all of you know what metaverse actually means. If you look from a virtual reality perspective and you want to be in there and you want to, whatever, sit on your chair and just whatever, or walk around in your garden, Sven, and do all of those things, then obviously you need a massive, quite nice PC on Oculus, things, MetaQuest, things, latest edition professional 23.de, 1,500 euros roughly. If you want to get high end, it's like 500 to 800 euros for the other one. But at the end, the metaverse is virtualization, from my perspective. Maybe if you think of Yabal as a metaverse, the metaverse, or whatever meta is coming up as a metaverse, then obviously you need that. But obviously it needs to get to make it relevant for all of the artists, all of the producers, all of the managers of music artists or music in general, to make it appealing and accessible for everyone. Yeah. So from my perspective, it's about what we are doing. It's like this, combining all of those things and streaming it out as a stream while being reactive on what the community, the fans are actually giving back to the performance. And having this kind of link in a virtual environment is what the metaverse from a music industry perspective is for me.
And just to add that, I mean, most of you have a phone which is more expensive than an Oculus Rift, like Oculus Quest, for example. And you can do so many things with an Oculus. Like, really, if you have it on, you understand what is happening, what opportunities, what you can create with it. There's like side quests, people creating programs for that. So to access it, like, you pay like 600 on a phone, you can pay 300 on a glasses, if it interests you. So.
Yeah, I didn't know the prices. Sorry. So it's like, it's not as expensive as I thought. Sorry.
We've been hearing a lot about the positive effects of the metaverse. It seems like a space full of possibilities, live concerts, and so on. I wonder, is there also a disadvantage to art of the metaverse? Is there any dangers you see, copyright-wise, creativity-wise? Tough question.
Okay, I mean, everything is like when it comes to industries and how industries work and affect us, there's always this part of making people addictive to something. So they know in psychology how they're doing it. When it comes to World of Warcraft, all these mechanisms that you have, like at the beginning you get a lot and later you get less and you try to fight and then you're gonna get this piece, but you still need the other piece. All these things are made to make us addictive, and they were trained for elephants in the circus and everything. So they're doing these things on us. We have to identify it and try to make these things also. Like, this is normal, this is part of our world, it's a process. We always have to identify what is negative in something really positive and try to change that. And this is also for the metaverse. That's why I say the earlier we participate in it, and also when we talk about topics like which are not touched at the moment when it comes to avatars and other things, events about racism and sexism and all these things, we're participating with all information, so it's a less dangerous place. The whole world is a dangerous place wherever we go in. So the question is like that we're participating and want to change this, and this is the thing that I think is important. So dystopia, yeah, it's always there, like it's waiting next door. But like,
I think I have something to say in the perspective of art. To me, the question or the negative effect, if we can say that, the question behind it is the technology taking the space of the art? Is the technology overtaking? Or is it an enhancement? And working as a performer with sensors and technology, it's always this question. Because, okay, right now it was working. But you have to imagine that technology has bugs. It doesn't work sometimes. So if you have a piece, if you have a performance, and it's highly relying on the technology that you have, is the piece still existing without the technology? For me, that's the question behind that. And I think that's a more like of an ethic question behind it. So it should be an enhancement and never like a replacement of what you are doing with the performance or arts. Yeah.
I think that's really important again to understand, right? It's like back in the days, people were buying CDs, somewhere in the store. Now they consume music online as a virtual entity in a way, and I don't think it's a risk taking away from what's there already. It might happen, obviously, because everything might shift towards something we cannot imagine within a couple of days, weeks, years, hopefully. But the enhancement angle is the most important one. It's to take your chance to enhance the experience of someone consuming anything right now by the possibilities of virtual environments and virtualization of any kind of thing, from a chair to a person.
We have, yeah.
Sorry. Maybe have one last point that we haven't talked about is also the part of maybe the social part. So this is not, I see it that way, like I cannot create exactly the same experience if I take a dance class, if I give a dance class. Can I create, is it possible to recreate the social interaction, the same one that I'm gonna have in a dance class with the people being there? And I put a question mark because I think we are still in this phase of also questioning, at least for me, of a perspective of an artist. So how does that affect psychologically if you only consume, let's say, the things virtually? Is it, that's an open question. And I'm also like, I think that's maybe one of the fear or the risk that could be created in using it and having it like everywhere. How does that affect the social interaction and the relationship between humans?
Yeah, that's a good point.
The main risk at the end is you have 40 hours a week if you think of 8 hours work, if you think of all the hours you have a week. If you spend more time on that, less time on that, don't forget where you're coming from, because that's where you're strong already potentially before you turn into something innovative, towards something innovative.
Yeah, and also like when it comes to, like when we do projects also with our co-founder Christine Seraphin, we always talk about ethics and we always talk about like how is this like, this is a filter. We need to do that. So the things that we're doing is not harming anyone, are not dangerous to anyone. So whatever we're approaching, we should do that.
Time is running. I have like one last question for you. And I want a hot take from each and every one of you. Just like a few sentences. How or in what way do you think the metaverse, or the metaverses, as we've learned, are going to affect the music industry within the next 5 to 10 years?
Yes, I think it's going to have a huge effect, but we still have to find out where it's going. So we are part of bringing it into the direction, but it's going to have a huge effect. It's popping up more and more. We had this huge scandal about this one avatar, the black gangster rapper avatar, which was created by white youths. I don't know if you remember about that one. Then they were sued and they had some issues about that. So it's already happening. Like there's a lot of people creating their the avatars, or like they're like DJs that even doesn't exist. So it's happening. So in the future, they're gonna come a lot of different identities, avatar identities into the world. People will try different kind of metaverses, and at the end, I think from my perspective, AR are gonna be a huge thing, which is important in the future of participating inside the metaverse. So we are already inside the metaverse while we're in the real life, and this is my idea about it. Like I said, we can have a concert right here in real life, and at the same time in the metaverse people can participate. We have to create other teams for that, also operators who are helping with that.
Okay. Very short answers from your side because we're a bit tight on schedule, but you go.
Yeah, very simple. I think it's going to make people think, or the industry rethink the way music is going to be produced and consumed.
Just imagine people are buying tickets for concerts and traveling after the artist to get on a different kind of concert after the other when in the same kind of concert thing. But just imagine if you buy or if consumers or fans buy they can take part in any kind of concert, and the more the audience on the other side of the screen, or whatever screen, participates in the experience, the longer the Zugabe, what's the English word for that? The Ding? Genau? Yeah. That's one. The more the artist can actually trigger events in the Ding, so that people are actually getting other people into being fans of that specific artist to manage together to get to the end boss of that specific show, till the end of those 10 events. That's my thing.
Thank you. I'm excited for everything that's going to come. You have a short break. See you here at 5 for more talks. Thank you so much for your expertise.
Thank you.
Oh.